Hello loves, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be very quickly talking about Jupiter in Pisces, the Jupiter in Pisces transit that starts today, December 28th. This is a transit that is very powerful spiritually, but I want to name the next year in some change the year of the mermaid, because I feel like there's going to be so much spiritual work that's going to happen, that it's a very mystical year. It's a very ocean focused year. It is a very healing year. It's a very transitionary year as well, because Pisces is the last sign astrologically. So before Jupiter moves into Aries, which will be a very bold year coming up in 2023, there is a focus on this. There's like this duality. Even if you look at the numerology of the year 2022, there's a lot of twos. Okay, there's a lot of twos there. That itself is its own angel number, and there's a lot of duality. And don't forget that Pisces is a dual sign. It is the fish, just as Gemini is the twins, and Virgo is the twins as well. Pisces is the fish, and so there's two fishes swimming around each other, creating this kind of like coming back into reflection collectively throughout this time. So yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about it before we dive in a little bit. What I do want to mention, y'all have 3 days left. I always forget that is like the 31st and then it's January 1st. You guys have 3 days left to use the code 2022 to get 22% off all of my services. If you're a Patreon member, you get 30% off. The coupon's already in the dashboard for all of my services. And yeah, definitely take advantage of the coupon just before, the year ends. If you need a reading, if you need your transits, if you need something, definitely make sure that you check out my website and see what you would like to work on for the upcoming year. Definitely recommend transit readings, astrology readings, natal chart readings right now, or even past life readings right now as well, because it's going to be a very spiritual time. So definitely take advantage of that. For Patreon members, don't forget you get the 30% off. It's extended till my birthday. The regular 2020 code, it ends on January 1st. So definitely take advantage of that if you need a reading. Now, when it comes to this beautiful Jupiter in Pisces transit that's happening, this is going to be a very spiritual time. It would behoove all of you to connect to the element of water very clearly and carefully. The element of water, working with your spirit, working with your body. Do not forget that even though our bodies are definitely connected to the earth, we are a large amount percent water. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're working with the element of water, you're working with your emotional energy, your intuitive energy. It's going to be a great time, a great year to work on your intuitive abilities, to work on elevating your craft, which is something that I talked about in the weekly healing circle this week. Elevating your craft, learning something new, learning a new modality, learning something that you've been dying to learn for a while. It's a great time to work on healing work, to see a therapist, to get some counseling, whether spiritual or not. This is a great time to focus on healing, because the Pisces itself rules the energy of reflection. That's what the 12th house is all about: reflection, the subconscious mind, creativity, spirituality, dreams, dream work. And so there's a lot that can be done within the next year, focusing in on our dreams. Daydreaming work as like for manifestations, highly recommend during Jupiter and Pisces transit. Working with the element of water, working on your spiritual development, and working with the ocean, working with the ocean spirits. This is why I'm naming it the year of the mermaids, because I honestly, it's going to be a very watery year, and you're going to see how water spirits specifically are going to be more active, especially because there is that connection with the moon and the ocean. So there is going to be a lot of activity happening with the water spirits, river spirits, spirits in lakes. If you know that you're going to be planning a trip and you're going to be around water, take it upon yourself to, bring offerings, or, just protect yourself ahead of time. Plan accordingly. There's some lakes in the United States that are known for certain things. So you want to make sure that you're planning accordingly. but set yourself up for success. I'm going to be working a lot with the mermaids this year, and I will be sharing that practice with you guys as we move along. But I'm going to be working a lot with mermaids this year. It's going to be a very fun time. But we'll talk about more like working with mermaids and different sea creatures and sea spirits a little bit down the line. I do plan on making some videos, but this year, great time to do dream work, astral projection, great time to work on energy healing, crystal healing, great time to work on manipulating energy, working with the elements and manipulating the elemental energy, specifically with the element of water. Great time to work on your mediumship, your clairs, like your intuitive development. Great time to learn something new, learn a new modality. Also, make sure you're looking at where Jupiter is going to be transiting for the next upcoming year, because that's where you're going to see the activity be very present. But you're going to have to use that Piscean energy in order to move through that house in the best way. And because Pisces rules spirituality and creativity, is a great time to express yourself. One of the things I said in the weekly healing circle is that next year, watch the albums, the artists that come out. You might see some fresh artists just come out of the blue that you've never heard of before, just kind of breaking through the barrier and like going kind of like viral or having like hits and stuff like that. You might see some new artists. You might see some really great albums from some older artists as well, some more established artists. It is a really great time to get your practice together, get your whole entire practice in order, but also work creatively. Write a book, write, whatever it is that you are gravitated towards. Start that project, start that podcast, start your brand, work with it aesthetically. Next year's a really great time for glamour magic, and you will also see that there's some certain people who are going to use glamour magic in their advantage. There are some people, especially businesses, established businesses, who are going to be targeting the spiritual community next year. So keep an eye out for that. But there will be some illusionary things happening. Don't forget Pisces rules lying. Okay. Pisces literally rules lying. This is why they go into reflection mode, because they have to reflect on the things that actually happened and try to see the clarity in the thing. So make sure that you're protecting yourself from anybody who's trying to actively deceive you, and keep those protections up. Okay, make sure that you have your wards, that you're protected, that you're practicing your healing, and you're making sure that you're in a safe space, because Pisces is the most sensitive sign, and it can be very vulnerable. When you're in a state of reflection and like recovery before you go into the Aries energy of like, we're off to the journey, it's a very sensitive time. Think of it a little bit like kind of being in a coma and like waking up and you're just still like recovering, you're coming back into consciousness. It's a very sensitive time. You can't, just throw a person like that just got up from a coma and be like, go run a 5K. It's just not productive. It's not conductive to anything. It's just not going to work. It's not going to help. It's just not the best thing to do. And so this is a time for you to work with your sensitivity. And because we're all going to be very sensitive spiritually, your protections need to be up. There's going to be people who are going to be trying it. Make sure that glamour magic should be a part of your practice next year in whatever way and form, whether it be you want to attract more people to your music, your art, whether it be you're wanting to attract or you have a vision for what your love life should be, and you want to attract and magnetize and envision and bring that love life into fruition, whether it be you want to elevate and grow spiritually and work on your spiritual development and unlock different parts of yourself, removing blockages from yourself. It's a really important year for a lot of spiritual development and to heal and reflect on a lot of things that have happened as well. Be mindful when it comes to plant medicine and when it comes to substances. Okay, that is my code word for that and for alcohol. Why? Because Pisces rules the subconscious mind. Being in an altered state is Piscean energy. So when you're in an altered state, you're not conscious. You're in a between. You're in a little bit of a gray area. You're a little bit loose. Okay. So it's a little bit different than being fully conscious and in the moment. So be mindful with consent, going out, getting too intoxicated. Be mindful with like plant medicine. And if you're going to be doing different types of hallucinogenic plant medicine, make sure that you're being guided by the right people. Okay. Make sure that you have the support that you need, the correct support that you need during that time, and set yourself up for success. Okay, set yourself up for success. Don't set yourself up for failure, because if you spend your time kind of taking it easy and then protecting yourself during the process of your reflection, do your process of your elevation, it's going to be a lot smoother of a year than if you kind of try to like force things or go or do something more aggressively. It is a year that's meant to be very subtle. It's a very subtle, like moving in the shadows, moving in the veil kind of year. This is why I mean by it's a great time for glamour magic. Don't be surprised if more people are doing glamour magic than normal. But it's a great year for attraction work, to magnetize, to do calling in type of work. And it's ultimately about maintaining the energy, maintaining the flow of the wave of your own ocean. We are our own oceans, okay? So we need to make sure that we are maintaining that energy. But there's a lot that's gonna happen, and I'm really excited to see how everything kind of manifests and shows up. I feel like it's gonna be a very productive year to do a lot, but there is an essence of Pisces where it's like very chill and relaxed and mellow and like, you know, wanting to kind of just stay in a vibe. So also give yourself the time and space to kind of chill and relax, obviously, but there's a lot that you can do with it as well. Spiritually, there's a lot that you can do with it. You might get a lot of activity with your dreams and dream work. Prophetic dreaming, it's another thing that you should be focusing on for the next year. And also getting clear messages for creatively. Like, let's say you've been having creative blockages. Next year ain't gonna be the year for that. Next year is like, oh, you don't want that? Okay, let's work on that. Let me inspire you. Like, Spirit is gonna be sending clear messages and downloads, and you're gonna be able to see the development and what you want to apply moving forward with your life. So that is the energy that's coming up for next year, starting today. And that's really where you need to focus on. You need to make sure your practice is in a good place, that your practice is consistent, your spiritual practice, whatever it is that you practice, it doesn't matter what you practice, but you need to be really consistent, because there will be that essence of sensitivity. Working with the water spirits, working with the ocean, working with the river, working with water itself when you're drinking water, okay? You should be praying over it. You should be having that consistent practice. You should be having like fresh water in your altar regularly, daily. Working with water is going to be very powerful for the next upcoming year. Just watch. You should be taking spiritual baths regularly. You need to romanticize your spiritual baths as well. And make it a good experience for you, so you are enjoying and having a really good transitionary time during that period, okay? There's so many ways that it can be used for your benefit at the end of the day, but you have to apply yourself. It's as simple as that. You have to choose to apply yourself and apply and do the work. So you do the work, or else you're gonna get stuck in the more negative sides of Piscean energy, where you have a harder time sleeping, where you're overusing, you know, different substances, like you're just smoking so much weed, and you just like, it's almost like you're getting desensitized. You're just kind of stuck in past relationships and exes, and you're just like in an obsession kind of energy and wave. So keep in mind, Jupiter expands both negative and positive energy. Pisces is that one sign that's always in love with their ex. It is the sign of reflection, so that does happen, but just navigate it in a way that is productive to you. Make sure you're looking at where it's going to transit, obviously, but don't get stuck. Even though Pisces is a mutable sign, it gets stuck sometimes, and then it goes and swims around again. So just make sure that you are listening to yourself, listening to your body, and navigating your way through it, okay? So yeah, that is my message for the Jupiter and Pisces. Oh, crystals. You want to be working with like the amethyst. You want to be working with like aquamarine, amazonite. You want to be working with like crystals that are very like either gentle, calming, or are working with your third eye, because your third eye is what's connected to Piscean energy, like how the crown chakra is connected to Aquarius energy. Third eye is the Piscean energy, and so that sense of vision, amplify that. Work with crystals that are actually going to help you in your practice, okay? So yeah, I will definitely see you loves in the next video. Thank you for watching. Definitely don't forget to check out the Patreon or the channel memberships down below. And yeah, I will see you loves in the next video. Bye.